Coming up, high winds are possible across the mountains through tomorrow afternoon.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Severe storms are possibly headed to the bluegrass overnight. Governor Beshear is urging Kentuckians to stay weather aware, but the worst of it will hopefully stay away from eastern Kentucky. It is going to be windy regardless. First Alert meteorologist Cameron Aaron joins us now with the latest. Cameron.
Yes, Steve, we are tracking some gusty winds and a few sprinkles as we go into this evening. But again, you can sleep peacefully. No severe weather issues in our region this evening, but possibly as you go into western, also northern Kentucky. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler at this hour, we are tracking some light showers and some light sprinkles as well into southern Kentucky, into southwest Virginia for Lee County, pushing into Harlan, Bell, also Letcher counties, and a few more light sprinkles into Leslie, Perry, Knott counties, pushing into Floyd, also into Johnson, Morgan, into Lawrence counties at this hour. So you can see a few showers are possible, but no severe weather issues as we go into this evening. However, a new tornado watch in place for northern Kentucky into western Kentucky from Paducah into Louisville, also Lexington up into Cincinnati as well. So that is where the better chance for severe weather will be this evening. And we could see possibly a few showers and storms as we go into early parts of your Wednesday. Check out these temperatures. 11 o'clock at night, most of us in the upper 60s and lower 70s, up to 70 in Harlan, also Somerset, and 68 in Jackson, also in Hazard at this hour. And this is all thanks to a strong wind out of the southwest, gusting to almost 40 in Jacksboro, up to 26 in Middlesboro, 32 miles per hour the gust here in Perry County. So we are tracking some more gusty winds, a wind advisory in place through 4 p.m. tomorrow. Also tracking a level 1 marginal risk of severe weather on Wednesday. More details on those storms plus a big cool down coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Former President Donald Trump and his one-time ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, battled it out in Michigan's Republican presidential primary today. The polls have closed, and CBS News projects Trump has won big. CBS's Skylar Henry has more from Washington.
CBS News projects former President Donald Trump has defeated Nikki Haley in Michigan's Republican primary, bringing him closer to securing the GOP nomination for president. The contest in the Wolverine state comes a week before more than a dozen states go to the polls on Super Tuesday. Earlier, at a campaign stop in Colorado, supporters urged Haley to stay in the race despite the odds.
All right, y'all, I'm still standing here.
At her polling place, Teresita Fox said she's backing Trump.
The best is to make us safe, especially in our neighborhood. Wherever you live, you know, it's chaos.
CBS News also projects President Biden has won Michigan's Democratic primary. The state has the largest concentration of Arab Americans in the country, many angry about the president's position on the war in Gaza.
We want to pressure him to call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire.
This Dearborn resident said she would vote uncommitted as a protest against candidates on the ballot.
When it comes down to, like what the choice is in November, I think they'll choose to vote for democracy.
In 2016, Donald Trump became the first Republican to carry Michigan in the general election since 1988. Joe Biden reclaimed the state for Democrats in 2020, helping him defeat Trump. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Including Michigan, Trump has now swept the first 5 states on the Republican primary calendar. An investigation is underway at the Campton Dairy Queen in Wolfe County. A mother says a manager of the restaurant made the employees eat contaminated ice cream. She says there was solution and sanitizer in the ice cream and that some employees had to be taken to the emergency room for treatment afterwards. Some of the employees are under the age of 18.
They were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to taste it today. Some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream.
The Wolfe County Sheriff's Office is investigating the situation. No charges have been filed at this time. We've reached out to the Campton Dairy Queen. They tell us they have no comment on the situation. Police arrested a Laurel County man after a car chase ended with a crash near a roundabout. Dustin Bewley faces several charges following the incident. A woman was taken to the hospital for injuries from a previous incident. Police began tracking Bewley following a reported kidnapping. Officer Hobie Doherty says getting the victim to safety was a top priority.
We do have a policy that we have to follow. They have to meet certain guidelines for us to continue to chase the subject. But with someone in danger or i.e. the victim in this case, we wanted to make sure that we could retrieve her safely and get her into safe hands.
Bewley was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center after the incident. Tonight we are learning more about a Campbellsville University student strangled to death in his dorm. 18-year-old Josiah Kilman died Saturday. His community here in Kentucky and back home in Montana are obviously devastated. Everyone who knew him says Kilman lived an exceptional life. Grayson Passmore talked with a former coach and family friend who says Kilman will leave a lasting legacy on everyone who knew him.
If someone's having a rough day, then, we pick each other up.
Before he became a freshman wrestler and biblical studies major at Campbellsville University, 18-year-old Josiah Kilman was a star soccer player in his hometown of Columbia Falls, Montana.
That he could be gentle and show people that were not as successful or as strong as he was, that it's really all about love and respect.
O'Brien Bird coached Kilman from age 7 to 18.
Good attitude.
It was these qualities that earned Kilman the title of team captain 2 years in a row. Now Bird replays these videos of Kilman in his element since he got the call telling him Kilman had been killed at school.
It was a hard conversation to have with my son and all of his friends on the team, and it's hard to understand.
Kilman was a role model who led the team on the field and in their faith.
He always would seem to understand when younger eyes were on him, I guess, and know that he was being looked up to.
So now his community will rally together, just like Kilman would have wanted.
And be there and love on him and support him and talk about Josiah. And that he's able to walk with us every day now, He's able to be with us, so. And he will be.
We're just like a brotherhood here, so we all help each other out.
Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Police arrested 21-year-old Charles Escalera and charged him with Kilman's death. We are told both Kilman and Escalera were on the school's wrestling team. Escalera was arraigned yesterday, where a $2 million cash bond was set. Governor Andy Beshear made several stops in the region today to give folks an update on higher ground projects in Letcher, Knott, and Perry counties. The governor gave updates on Chestnut Ridge and Olive Branch in Knott County at the Knott County Sportsplex. He says the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet completed its plans for the access road that will extend Chestnut Ridge Road.
You can never stop, right? Building a better life for our families means showing up and being relentless about it every single day. And that's why this has to be my 8th, 9th trip just to the Sportsplex since the flooding, because rebuilding takes all that hard work.
The governor also joined local officials to present more than $8.5 million in funding to increase access to clean water, improve the Jenkins City Hall, and more. And while in Letcher County, the governor also made a stop at Arley Boggs Elementary for a reception for first responders that helped students after a school bus crash last month. The principal says the student with the worst injuries returned to school just last week. The school gave out plaques to several people who responded to the crash that day. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, go back in time 60 years as we look back to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Freedom March in Frankfort.
Plus, we are tracking showers and a few storms by tomorrow. Your Wednesday forecast after this break.